So now we have our collision that has a pop-up that says hello, or it says touched flag. But what we really want is something big on the screen, right? Something that when you're playing the game, it would like display on the screen and do something. So for this one, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our content drawer and back to our folder. And in that folder, we're going to right click and we're going to need to scroll down. So we right clicked and we're scrolling down and we want a user interface, and we're going to create a widget blueprint. Again, so it's just right click and scroll down, user interface, widget blueprint. And you'll see, oh, it enables a UI extensibility through the widget blueprint. So UI is for user interface, and that's what it means by having like a window that pops up on the screen. So we're going to click use widget. And again, we're going to name this something that is appropriate so that we could find it again. And so we're just going to say you win. And so that's what we're going to call it. You win. And I'm going to call it a BP because it's a blueprint for you win. And I'm going to double click it. Again, it should pop up in the same window if that's the way you did it. And so now we have, kind of similar to what we did when we made our own object, now we're going to create interface. So what we're going to want to do is put down something that we can draw on, basically. And so again, it's going to be a canvas. So we're going to click in here and search for canvas. I mean, if I can spell canvas, canvas panel. And we're just going to click it and drag it out. And that kind of gives us a template for our window of where we're going to put things. And now we want to add text. So we're going to get rid of canvas and put text. And there's some options, but what we're going to do is just a plain little text field and add that to it. And you'll see that we have it here. And I want to make it bigger. On the right hand side, you can see where it tells you like text box is what here. And on the details pane, it tells us what's in that. And we can change it with whatever we want. So I'm going to just put you win, an exclamation point. And it has color of white, so that's kind of boring. So, you know, I always like purple, so that's my favorite color. You're welcome to use whatever color you want. It's really small, so we're going to go find font and scroll. And you could either just type in the value you want, so like 72, or I could also, if you hover your mouse in that window, you'll see that you can use it as a scroll bar as well to make it as big as you want. So I want it kind of that big where it's kind of filling the screen. I'm going to take my green box and make it actually fit the text and place it in the center. And so now I have my text box and I have my widget that is showing. And so again, I'm going to hit compile and save. And now I'm going to go back to my flag, and I still am going to leave the touched flag just to make sure that that's where I am at. But I'm going to add a new widget where I'm going to actually take this widget that I've created, right, the you win widget, and I'm going to add it to my screen. So to do this, what we're going to need to do is add a couple we're going to need to add a couple blueprints to be able to create our widget and then add it to the screen. So the first one, we're going to click on here and we're going to say create widget. And so you'll see it's another functioning widget, right? It's blue, just like this one. And it has this thing that says class. And so you can select class. And again, this is where it is helpful to name things appropriately. So I'm going to say BP underscore you win. And so what this is now doing is going to create that widget. We made the widget, but the system has to know that that widget's there. So it's going to create a thing and do it. And then we need to then display it to the screen. So we're going to click out so we have inputs from the previous one that it did it. And then we're going to go out, and then we need to add to viewport. And we're going to need to tell it what we're adding, so that's why we're returning that. And so we're going to compile this. We could go and look at our compile that it was successful, and we want to save it as well. So now when we are in the third person, back in our scene, we're going to hit play, and we're going to go and hit this, and you'll see that we now have you win. Granted, I can keep doing this and it'll keep popping up like that I have the you win, and it won't ever go away. So what you might want to do is when you hit the flag and you win, you want it to be the end of the game. So there is another blueprint we could add to this, which is we're going to select from this, and we're going to put game, play, and is it pause game? Set game game paused. And what this is doing is, right, so it's another function, and it has a button here that says a Boolean. What a Boolean is either true or false. And so that will tell you if it's true, that means the game is paused, and if it's false, then the game is not paused. So that means it's this checkbox. So if I click here, it'll put a checkbox. So with the game paused, it means that's kind of what it says, right? The game will be paused and you can't keep moving. And without it, the game is not paused. So we'll want to click that. Again, compile and save. I just really like doing that often because, you know. And then I hit play again. And so now when I go and I hit, it says you win and the game is frozen. And we just hit escape to get out of the game. So that's just creating a simple blueprint that will let you have your pop up a screen. You could add different things to it. It doesn't just have to be text. I just wanted to show you a quick, easy one that you can easily add and go from there.